Alright, all set. And 3, 2, 1, action! This is Cinematic Motif. Hello, I'm Wanson, a film critic and a content creator, and welcome back to Cinematic Motif, where I introduce you one Taiwanese film as a motif, and then explore other works with this cinema topic in cinema around the world. Alright, so welcome back to the show today. So today we're actually going to talk about it's kind of like a recurring theme in many movies all over the world. That is time. So let's get started. Alright, so the first movie I'm going to share with you today is a Taiwanese movie. Actually, a movie that I love so much. I've watched it, I guess, at least 3 times in the cinema. So this movie is called My Missing Valentine, 消失的情人节. Actually, make a correction, I've watched it twice in the cinema, but then the other time on TV. Okay, so 消失的情人节, this is a 2020 Taiwanese romantic comedy film written and directed by Chen Yuxun. If you know, if you have been a loyal listener of my show, you would know that in the first episode of this show, I praised Chen Yuxun so much. He is my favorite comedic director in Taiwan. This film, My Missing Valentine, received 11 nominations at the 57 Golden Horse Awards 金马奖, and it also won the Best Feature Film, Best Original Screenplay, Best Visual Effect, Best Film Editing, and even the Best Director for Chen Yuxun. So this film talks about a little girl called Xiaoqi. He does everything so quickly that she's always one step ahead of others. And she works in a post office, and a bus driver comes to post a letter every day. And Xiaoqi is turning 30 soon and longs for love. Finally, on the eve of Valentine's Day, a kind of like a sexy and hot guy asks her out. But to her surprise, she wakes up the next morning and finds that the Valentine's Day has passed and mysteriously disappears for her. So this is actually a very refreshing theme in Taiwanese film actually. A day that disappears. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly happen? And at the end, I think, although this is a very refreshing theme and refreshing idea, which is very iconic in Chen's movies, I think this is still talking about someone might be loving you even though you do not know. Xiaoqi does not know that this person who asks her to send this letter at the post office every day, this little man, he's actually someone who has been caring about Xiaoqi for a very long time. And this person does everything really slowly, so he has additional time in this movie. That is really interesting, right? Someone who might lose a day and someone might get one extra day. So for this sort of, imaginary topic, Chen uses very fantasy visual design, which means that everything seems a little bit off reality, and you can see a lot of, like, even an insect can become a person in this movie. This is really interesting. Anyway, I think what's so important in the script of this movie, also made it really special, is that Chen very cleverly creates a stark contrast between these two characters, and also divides them into 2 parts in this movie. So you have the first part of the movie and the second part of the movie, and also 2 different lifestyles, 2 characters, and 2 different stories of their lives. A lot of stark contrast, fast and slow, and then boys and girls, and then and shy and outgoing. There's lots of these things in this movie, but ultimately, anyway, it's still about love. Although they're different, they can be lovers, and maybe they're caring about each other. I think this concept itself is really beautiful. Alright, so I hope you can all go watch this movie. It's called My Missing Valentine, 消失的情人节. Now let's play a song. This is from Soda Green, 苏打绿. This song is called 他下了夏天. And we'll be right back on Cinematic Motif.
是不那么沉重，轻轻手抓着夏天地面温热的晚风。平凡特别笨拙或聪明相同，他从不担心自己被世界折磨。Amy 的附和是他最大意图，带着笑容的睡意化成了彩虹，在大梦中一口气走上了星空，喧嚣亮起整个夏天渴望的恢宏。心大雨浓烈，好与坏他都尝过，他从不介意自己被命运捉弄，按下了闹钟，开启另一个梦。
他下了夏天 by 苏打绿 Soda Green. Welcome back to Cinematic Motif. I'm Wanson. Today we're talking about movies related to time. And now for the second movie I'm going to share with you. This is not a Taiwanese movie anymore. This is a movie that you all know, definitely. Tenet by Christopher Nolan. 天能. So Tenet is a 2020 science fiction action thriller film written and directed by Christopher Nolan. I love him so much. And also produced with his wife Emma Thomas. It stars John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, a lot of great actors, even Kenneth Branagh again. This film follows the former CIA agent who is recruited into a secret organization, and he has to trace something, an object that can help people to travel backwards through time. And also he has to make sense of the connection to an attack from the future and the present. So if you haven't watched this movie, I'm not going to be a spoiler and tell you everything here on this radio show. I think you should definitely go watch this movie by yourself. However, I do want to point out something about time and also about why you should not miss this movie. So basically, talking about time that can move backward, this is a continuation of Christopher Nolan's obsession with sort of time topic. We have seen sort of discussion about time in Interstellar, in Inception, in even Dunkirk, and I think in this movie it is a grand finale to Christopher Nolan's obsession with time. I think maybe he'll make some other movies in the future, but anyway, you should definitely go watch it. How can some people to go backward in time? And actually going backward, it's not like traveling back to time, but going backward in time. Very, very cool. And I think ultimately this film provides us a value. You should look at the present and hold your time at this moment. Cherish this time at this present. Do not try to look back or try to modify things. Terrible things could happen. And I think that's what also makes this movie really, really futurism. It talks about lots of like in the futuristic world, in the future, maybe we have this sort of weapon that can help us to move backward into time. But is it really, really good? Is it going to be something bad? And maybe through this sort of objects, people in the future can warn people in the past about something, and maybe people in the future want to change something, but is it the best thing that we can see? Maybe not. So very, very futuristic thinking. But anyway, you should definitely go watch this movie. It's called Tenet, 天能. Now let's take a short break and we'll be right back on Cinematic Motif.
Listen.
Are you listening?
This is the sound of my country.
This is the sound of Taiwan.
嘅頭前後邊攏我哋嘅。
我已從正三行學
Taiwan, a small island with a whole world of sounds.
Alright, welcome back to Cinematic Motif. Today we're talking about movies related to time. And now I have my next movie to share with you. This movie is called Supereroi, or that's Italian. Or in English, it's Superheroes. Superheroes, this is a 2021 Italian romantic comedy drama film directed by Paolo Genovese, starring Alessandro Borghi and I don't know how to pronounce that name. Jasmine Trinca. Anyway, this is an Italian movie that I love so much. It was released in 2021. So it talks about a couple, Anna. She is a cartoonist with an impulsive and non-conformist personality. And also Marco, he is a physics teacher, basically a professor, and believes that everything is ruled by a kind of formula. That's what physics thinks about. And these two people, they are linked by no reason, and they are the real superheroes in the story because they have to find the superpower to love each other for a very, very long time. So basically, what's so interesting about this movie is its narrative. Basically, the movie cross over different stages of these two people's lives, cross back from 10 years later to 10 years back, and we can look at how their relationship changes, like from starting to know each other, that sort of really strong love, and then they have to deal with each other, they have to know each other, and then they have to have this sort of stable couple relationship, but maybe till some stage they start to get away from each other, not loving each other that much. We can see how their relationship changes, yet they still love each other. That is the point of this movie. It is a superpower to continue loving someone. It is very, very difficult and hard. I believe when we look at a lot of like couples who divorced in the end, they once loved each other, but it is very, very hard and difficult to continuing loving your partner. So this movie is really, really touching. I cried so much when I was watching this movie. The movie is really, really touching. Very, very nice editing, crossing over in like back and forth from before and then future. And also in the music of the movie, you can hear this sort of electric synthesizer sound to symbolize the physics nature of this movie, because you have a physician. So very, very touching, very a film that you're gonna cry so much. You should definitely go watch it. Alright, this movie is called Supereroi or Superheroes. It's a 2021 Italian movie. Now let me play you a song that matches the tone and our atmosphere right now. This track is called Perfect Duet by Ed Sheeran featuring Beyonce here on Radio Taiwan International.
I found a love for me. Well, darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Well, darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass. We're listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it. Darling, you look perfect tonight. stronger than anyone I know. He shares my dreams. I hope that someday we'll share our home. I found love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just hold my hand. Be your girl, you'll be my man. And I see my future in your eyes. Well, baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass while listening to our favorite song. When I saw you in that dress, looking so beautiful, I don't deserve this. Darling, you look perfect tonight. No, no, no. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass while listening to our favorite song. I have faith in what I see. Now I know I have met an angel in person, and she looks perfect. I don't deserve this. You look perfect tonight.
That is Ed Sheeran and Beyonce, perfect duet on Radio Taiwan International. You're listening to Cinematic Motif with me, Wanson. Today we're talking about movies related to time. Now, our final movie today is a movie that you would not expect me to say. This is Yesterday. Okay, so Yesterday is a 2019 musical romantic comedy film directed by Danny Boyle and written by Richard Curtis. This is a movie basically about not about the Beatles, but like sort of like a jukebox film featuring a lot of Beatles songs, but the story itself is not Beatles. Okay, so this film talks about a struggling musician, Jack Malik. He suddenly finds himself as the only person who remembers the Beatles in the whole world after an accident in the real world, and then he starts to perform these songs from Beatles and then become really famous. And this film also stars Lily James, Joe Fry, even Ed Sheeran himself. We just heard his song, right? And even Kate McKinnon. So we all love movies from Richard Curtis. I remember he has so many great romantic films, romance. He's a master of writing script of romance, and this is another typical one, and really cute, really touching. So I think continuing our previous themes we talked about, time is really important in our life, and for the couples, as I said back in the previous movie, for the couples 10 years before and 10 years later, their relationship could change. But what if things can change dramatically in one night? That is exactly what happened in the story of Yesterday. After one night, Jack, he's got this potential and then the opportunity to be famous by using Beatles song. Maybe in this movie, yeah, it talks about if morally if he is correct. But anyway, things can change so fast, even just in one night. That is the value that I want to bring you through this movie Yesterday. And I think ultimately this film reminds us that we should be true to ourselves. Do not lie. Be true to ourselves. That is a really important takeaway from the movie. And of course, in this movie, you've got a lot of great tunes from the Beatles. You should definitely not miss it. So we've got not much time left. So for the final song today, I'm going to play you the Beatles and Yesterday, because the title of this movie, Yesterday, is taken from Beatles' song Yesterday. Alright, so that is all for our show today on Cinematic Motif. As always, if you got anything that you want to tell me, send your email to wanson@rti.org.tw. You can also follow me on my Instagram and YouTube. My handle is at wansonscafe. This has been Cinematic Motif. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be back next week. Bye bye.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide.